So another good part of so they're not really going with the Batman 2 or anything, it's the Batman Part 2. Not always having crossovers, which is where I think this new slate is going to be kind of messy, with like announcing Swamp Thing as a movie, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, and like, yeah, good luck with that. Like, things I want to see with the Batman include Mr. Freeze. Is like the top villain I want to see in this series. I think the setup is there. I think the potential for Mr. Freeze to be done right is there. Matt Reeves understands this universe. He understands this character. Not that other directors didn't understand it before, but the way he's done this in this universe, I think I like it probably the best. Dark, gritty. Some parts are grounded, but I'm like, I don't think when these characters are, the people say these characters are grounded, I don't think that approach always works. Because, believe it or not, Batman does fight freaks and monsters. Freaks dressed like clowns. Guys that can turn into clay. Dudes hooked up on steroids that grow twice their size. He fights freaks and monsters all the time. So there's nothing grounded about it. We need to stop doing this, so we gotta put them in reality. Like, no. How about you just follow the comics? Take some liberties if you have to, but come on. It's another problem I have with this. This new Superman film's gonna be grounded. Like, how the hell are you gonna ground Superman? I can't. Good luck with that. I want to see Mr. Freeze. I want to see Killer Croc at some point. Again, he fights freaks and monsters. So, like, doing the grounded thing isn't gonna work. If they keep going that route, and they could try, they could probably adapt Mr. Freeze in a more, I don't want to say realistic setting, because realistically, no one would survive what he went through, so.
Nothing the main event. You would have thought old Jim Gordon had been through enough. First, some handsome young maniac cripples his daughter. Now he's blaming himself for her being taken. You really should tell him this is your fault, Bats. I'm sure he'll understand. I mean, it's not like you went out and got his daughter killed. Well, not yet anyway. The night's still young.
Like, I think Robin can definitely work in the Matt Reeves universe. It's like in the Batman, he's teaming up with Gordon just about the entire film, so just swap in Gordon for Robin. Bam. It's that simple. People always try to make it so complicated. I'm like, well, Titans proved anything is that you can have these characters taken seriously and not always be into a joke like they were back in the 60s and the 90s, especially the 60s. Like, no one took Robin seriously back then.
Oh God, no.
It's like Gotham Knights also proved these characters can work on their own. So, I mean, the potential is there. Like, if they can just take the stuff that works from Titans, put it on the big screen, and maybe I can give it a pass for canceling the show. It's not a flawless show, but there was some good stuff in Titans that just don't think the movies will capture as well. I guess we'll see, but this is why the Batman's probably the only project I'm looking forward to besides the look screen. Or if I have to see Krypton blowing up again. Or a little teeny weeny Kal-El learning how to use his powers again. I don't know why we can't just get these characters and it doesn't change who he is. Like, I have the same problem with MCU Spider-Man. They're always trying to make him a little freaking kid. He's in the original comics, he's 18. He's a grown freaking adult in the original comics. He's one of the few things they got right in the Tobey Maguire films. He doesn't stay in high school. He grows up. He's not Peter Pan, you know? He grows up. Eventually, he'll marry and get married in the comics. It's probably one of the biggest events in comic history. Because you don't really see that type of stuff in superhero stories. That's why it had such an impact back in the day. I'm not saying I need Batman to get married or anything. That would be kind of dumb for his character. But we can do that with Superman. I mean, had Cavill and Amy Adams, if he just stuck with that and just kept going, could have eventually got even more story with adult Superman on the big screen. And they're just so afraid to actually let these characters grow. Well, we gotta have young Superman. Like, why? It's gonna waste more time.
This isn't your fault, Jim.
Of course it is. Crane's done this to get to me. I should have been here.
There's something I need to show you.
We haven't got time. She's not like us.
Identity confirmed.
She's strong, Jim. Stronger than you realize.
She works for you? This is all your fault.
I will find her.
She's my family! My daughter! She's all I've got! I never should have trusted you. Never! I'll do this on my own. Stay away from my family.
I should have killed him off in this. But, potential is
I think
there.
that went quite well, considering. Of course, I wouldn't have told him, but that's why it's so liberating being me.
Like, I definitely want to see Mr. Freeze. I definitely want to see Mr. Freeze. Do not want to see the Joker. Like, it's another thing besides the origins that I'm sick and tired of. It's the freaking Joker. I know it's the Joker. He's like his nemesis and all that. Great, I get it. Read comics for a long time. I get it. You got the Joker gang in the first one. Cool. He exists. Fine. I don't want to see the Joker in this series for a long freaking time. You can have him as a side villain. Maybe he's working behind the scenes, pulling someone's strings. Something he does. Like from prison or something. See more of the Joker gang. Maybe they branch out to different parts of the city. You can even see he's going through different parts of the city in the movie in the beginning, so maybe there's more gangs, who knows. I definitely think that we should do more street level stuff with this version of the Batman. And maybe save the Joker stuff for the whatever the new one's called, Raven Bold or something. Maybe save Joker for that. I don't know. I don't want to see the Joker. I don't. I'm sick and tired of seeing Joker in every freaking film. He's in all of the Arkham games. All of them. Including Origins. He shouldn't have even been in that. He's in all of the Arkham games. Asylum, City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Origins. Like, I know he's a nemesis, but like, Batman's got a massive rogues gallery. Half of them haven't even been on screen yet. Never seen Clayface. Never seen Killer Croc. We've had Mr. Freeze before, but it can be done right now with the good writers and a decent actor. good script. Just adapt Sub-Zero. Adapt Sub-Zero or Heart of Ice from animated series. There's your movie. It's that simple. No one-liners, no stupid jokes. This is a character that is a character is a victim of tragedy. And I think that can be done properly this time for like once. I don't know if we need someone like Poison Ivy or anything. And it's just kind of corny, in my opinion. But there's a lot of villains I've never seen on big screen. You could even put them on that Penguin show or something. Just to introduce Arkham Asylum. I mean, we already introduced Arkham Asylum, but maybe just have a scene with maybe a cop patrolling the area, walking past some of the cells, and you see Joker or you see Harley Quinn. Don't have to really dive into it, but like just know they're there. Knowing they exist, like knowing Joker exists is enough for me. I don't need to see the Batman vs. the Joker again. Like, oh my god. How many times we're gonna do that? After a while, it just gets repetitive and kind of annoying. So I'm just like, do something else. Ran Black Mask. Already had Bane. Cannon Killer Croc. Scarface. You could do something with Scarface. That could be interesting. Mad Hatter. I don't know. Maybe not Mad Hatter. Already had the Riddler. Riddler can always come back. He's in prison. He's not dead. Selena Kyle is not Catwoman yet. She can return. Cobblepot is out there, rising to power. He can always return with another scheme. So many different angles you can do besides just going to the Joker again. At this point, the Joker would just be the easy way out. And I think we need to branch out beyond that small, tiny little box. The same box that Disney Wars gets stuck in because they still can't get past the original trilogy after all this time. So it's like that. Just adapt another character. It's not that difficult. It's really not. This character has been around since the 1940s. Same with Superman. It's like, we shouldn't be doing origin stories at this point in the character's history. It's ridiculous. Like, people's problem with Superman is in the same subject area, but people's problem with Superman is like, oh, he has too much power. But don't focus on his powers. Now, this is why Smallville was so good, because it was about him as a person, dealing with his abilities. But like with Batman, I don't think the grounded stuff will work particularly. Because he does fight freaks and monsters, gods and monsters, and they stand alongside like the most powerful members of the JL. Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. He stands like among them. He's part of the Trinity. He's part of the Trinity for a reason. Not because he's grounded in reality. It's because of his mind. Yeah, this is a guy that could deduce all their weaknesses just by sitting in the cave or being around them, studying them, watching them. And I'm just glad that the Batman is being separate from whatever goofy stuff they're going to do with the new DCU. They just keep it separate, keep the game separate. I don't need game tie-ins with movies or whatever. Like, leave it separate. Games based on movies, they don't work. They've never worked. If anything, they're boring. Because there's really nothing, there's no flexibility like I was saying before. So, yeah, keep the game separate, please. As a gamer, I don't want to be reminded of the movies when I'm playing the next Batman game, whatever that ends up being, because they're going to make another one. because they're afraid to make any other characters, like, I don't know, Green Lantern or Green Arrow. Because, like, I'm thinking, looking back on a JL film, if you want to call it that, there's no heroes in that world. No Green Arrow, no Black Canary, no lanterns at all. There was one lantern that extended Justice League movie or whatever. One lantern. The Green Lantern Corps existed for hundreds of years. And there's one lantern in that movie. Like, his order is the magic ring finds someone worthy, like Mjolnir. And then when that person, if that person dies, the ring finds someone else. It's literally that simple. It blows my mind that we've never had Green Lantern done properly when he's probably the easiest character to adapt, right behind Superman and Batman. His origin is so easy. Space Cop, magic ring, powers. That's it. It's not complicated. So yeah, I definitely want Mr. Freeze. Killer Croc, those are my top two. I don't want the Joker again. I really don't. Just again, just knowing that the Joker exists is enough for me. Like, if we're doing like a 3-4 parter, I want to see Robin at some point. Because Robin can definitely work on. Every time I watch the Batman, I just think like, damn, it'd be really cool to see Robin in this world. And it wouldn't take long to introduce Robin either. Just have a scene in the movie with the circus. He meets the kid, takes him in. It doesn't even have to be a little kid. It can be an older Robin for all I care. This Batman is still pretty young, so this is what, year 2? Robin's didn't even be introduced until year 4, year 3 or 4. It's like, take your time, just don't have too much of a time jump. Because that's the problem with movies, is that there's so much time in between these, and they act like only a couple months have passed. Sometimes with these sequels. So I would say maybe have a Gotham PD show in between films and mention a circus or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall at this point. Again, I'm more inclined to the Elseworlds idea than I am with everything being connected. I just think that's kind of dumb. It's such an easy way out, in my opinion. I don't think that really works for DC Comics characters. I don't need Bruce Wayne mentioned all the time in the Superman movie. I don't need Batman in the Superman movie. I don't need them to always be I don't always need to see them outside of jail. They can all do individual stories. Most of them work better with individual stories. Like, Wonder Woman, in my opinion, would work better in a JL film than her own movie. She doesn't have a particular rogues gallery per se, besides Greek gods or whatever. But I don't think there's enough material to make like a Wonder Woman trilogy, which is why the Wonder Woman films with what's her name, Gal Gadot, kind of fell apart. I never saw the second one. I never will. But for me, one was enough. Like, she's not a character that needs a trilogy. Yeah, most anticipated project from this DCU is definitely the Batman Part 2. Right behind that is the Lantern series, featuring Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. Looking forward to that. See what that ends up being. Hopefully they put him in space at some point, because it will be kind of boring if it just Green Lantern's on Earth the entire time. I know they guard Earth, but they're space cops. Do something in space. Intergalactic war, something with the Yellow Lantern Corps, Red Lanterns, some kind of space battles. Give me something. If it's just them on Earth, it's gonna be boring. I'm just saying. Because all this stuff was announced today. I'm not hating or anything. I'm just saying. If it's just John and Hal on Earth solving crimes, you can do that with Batman. You don't need lanterns for that. You know what I mean? Just hopefully they'll actually get creative with this new version of the DCU. There's one thing I'll say about
I need to find out what happened to Barbara. They covered their tracks by disabling the clock tower security cameras. If I hack the municipal CCTV system, I should be able to monitor all access points to the building.
one thing I'll say about the previous DCU was that it was kind of messy. I agree with the people who say that. Yes, it was messy. Okay, fine.
Concentrate. I need to find who took Barbara and how. That's the Arkham Knight. He's got Barbara. I need to confirm which car he took her in. There. That's the vehicle they took Barbara away in. Those tires are Amertech D60s. I can program the Batmobile to track their unique tread pattern. It'll lead me right to them.
Like Mr.
Now
Freeze.
that I think about it, how did Scarecrow know to go after your IT department? I mean, I had no idea she worked for you when I shot her. I just got lucky.
Mr. Freeze is probably one of my favorite
I was aiming for her head.
villains. It's not really a villain. Like an animated series.
If I'd only had a video camera when I swept Barbara off of... Poor old Jimbo had to make
His motivations are to cure his wife. And I think that the general audience can get behind that. So if you want to bring in a broader audience and obviously more money in the box office, I think Mr. Freeze is the logical way to go for the next antagonist for the Batman to face. And that can also lead to another cool detective story of Batman figuring out why this guy is doing this, how do I stop him, that type of thing. And then also there's that sympathetic aspect of Mr. Freeze that really didn't get with the Riddler because he was kind of crazy, like everybody in Arkham. So I think they can work with that. I think Matt Reeves is the person to do that. No offense to, I'm not even gonna say anything else about James Gunn at this point because I think he has good intentions. I think he and Peter, I can't remember the guy's last name, Zaslav or something. I think they have good intentions. I don't think characters like Swamp Thing or Booster Gold are going to bring in the money they think they will because they're very obscure characters. Booster Gold was in one episode of Justice League Unlimited back in the day. Swamp Thing, I think, was on HBO or something. A very obscure character. He's one of those characters that you need to have in like a 5-part miniseries. But the general audience isn't going to really care that much about him because he's not well known. He's, again, an obscure character. Swamp Thing, Man Thing, whatever you want to call him. He's not that well known. Same with Lobo. Like they're recasting Jason Momoa as Lobo. I'm like, why? Why? Who outside of comic book people knows who Lobo is? It's going to waste so much time trying to explain some of these characters to the general audience. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand.
The tire tracks will lead me to Barbara. I can use the Batmobile forensic scanner to follow them.
Killer Croc. And if you want to just Killer Croc,
Name.
As do I, Master Bruce. He has presumably chosen that title for a reason. Where do you suggest we start?
Arkham City. Go through the files of every inmate who was released following the death of Hugo Strange. And Alfred.
Sir.
They knew about Barbara. Activate the Batcave security protocols. Don't drop your guard.
I've got Oracle, Batman. Now you care who I am. Just gotta find me. But Gotham's a big place. There's a whole army between us. I'm ready for you.
Alfred, the militia have deployed a device. It's burrowed deep into the road.
Yes, I see it. Similar devices are being planted across the city.
I'll investigate.
it's like Killer Croc. If they want to bring him in, I think the Flood at the end of the first Batman could be the way to introduce him.
Tonight's the night we stick it to the bat. About time, if you ask me.
They could introduce him as like a mob boss or something. I think that could be cool. Like Earth One had him as this like mysterious creature that just lives in the sewers and wants to be left alone. I don't know if that'll work per se, but that could be an angle to attempt. Because again, the grounded stuff isn't going to work with characters like Killer Croc or the Joker, for instance. I mean, it kind of worked for the Dark Knight, but he was a terrorist version of Joker, so that was fine for that world. But to keep doing the grounded stuff, it's not gonna work every time. If you want it to be believable, because even in a grounded world, someone like Mr. Freeze probably wouldn't work anyway, because he would never survive the stuff he goes through in a real world setting.
It's a bomb, Alfred. A well-armored one.
Oh dear. In that case, sir, should you really be standing quite so close?
I'm going to set up a remote link to the Batcomputer and hit it with every virus we've got. Once we're hacked in, I can expose the core and defuse it with a controlled explosion.
Very good, Sam. Though I should warn you that the militia has already deployed a platoon of its unmanned tanks to stop you.
They won't.
Sir, the virus upload has destabilized the device. If you move too far away and lose the connection, it will flatten everything within a 10-mile radius.
As you predicted, sir, he's trying to defuse the device. The drones you requested have been deployed. We need those bombs and flamethrowers. There are deterrents. I know, sir. I'll stop him dead. He got a drone. No! Multiple drones offline. What the hell was that? The enemy's acquired simultaneous strike capabilities. Think faster. Direct hit. Yeah. These machines are relentless. Unlike you, they don't give up. They don't hesitate. They don't hold back. And they are not afraid of you, Batman. You won't beat me next time.
The bomb's payload is exposed. I can use the power winch to trigger a controlled explosion.
You think that's it, Dark Knight? I've got this whole city wired to blow. Try and disarm the explosives, and you'll face even more of my drones. You see, I've waited years. No one is taking this from me. Look at a charred crater if they try.
Sir, that warning was broadcast broadcast publicly. I suspect the Arkham Knight wishes to discourage outside intervention.
Crap, I could even do Man-Bat, for all I care. Man-Bat could be awesome. I don't know if it'll work in a grounded setting, but Man-Bat could be awesome.
Alfred, the Arkham Knight's trail leads into Miyagani Island. Lower the Mercy Bridge.
I can't, sir. We're locked out.
The militia must have hardwired into the transport control system. Find me their access point.
Right. Tracing the network traffic, it seems to have all been rerouted to Grand Avenue Station.
Then that's where they'll be. I'll proceed on foot and take over their access point. I'll contact you when you're able to lower the bridge.
Be careful, sir. Miyagani Island is rife with militia drones and troops.
Listen up, man. We control the bridges, but Batman can and will adapt. Stay alert. Watch the skies.
Batman, you think me so easily defeated? You think some rusting factory was the only weapon I had?
Man-Bat, Clock King. There's so many other things we can do besides the Joker again. So here's another problem. It's like if they do the Joker,
The Arkham Knight's militia.
if they do the Joker in the next one, which I hope to Christ they don't, it'll just be compared to the Dark Knight. Like, the Dark Knight's the best comic movie of all time. Like, it's overrated. It's overrated. It's good, but it's overrated, and Batman's hardly in the damn film. So, the only character people talk about in the movie is the Joker. So, nothing wrong with that, but people don't really talk about Christian Bale's performance in that film besides his crazy voice. They'll just be compared to the Dark Knight. So, it's another reason to do something else. Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Clock King, Man-Bat.
I need to
I
clear
want to
them
keep it grounded in the comic book world, not in reality.
Find the access point they're using to hack into the transport network.
Me, with a shock. Good. We're gonna need it. You think he's coming? Oh, I know he is. Arkham Knight just kidnapped his friend. We got the drone. He's not catching us off guard. Better not. Batman accesses that terminal. I don't know what Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight will do to us. So what happened? The chemical factory blew up, but I don't see any giant clouds of fear gas. Batman happened. He went in there, tore through 3 units of our guys, nearly captured Scarecrow, and stopped the explosion. Damn. So he's as good as the Arkham. I'll get him down and see what's wrong with him. I think something's moving down there. It's nothing. Ah! What happened to him? How do I know? I got him! He's in the garden! You're 2 down. Don't let him divide you. Watch your corners. Be ready for attacks from above, from below. He's fast. He got away using some sort of smoke! That hit him hard. I'm gonna assess the damage. I'll cover you. Guy's out cold. That hits hard. Well, let's hit harder. Bring him on. Nothing we can do here. Spread out and find him. You're a creep. Have it, Batman. Let's see if you can break it. He's picking you up from the vantage point. I know there now. Moving to mine the vantage point. Checking on man down. I'll keep watch. Planting mine on vantage point. Ouch. That looks like it hurt. Whoa! Nothing we can do for him. Right out. Get revenge. I see him. He's heading up. Track him. Bat got this guy earlier. We'll see if he's okay.
Good idea.
Nothing I can do for you, but I'll find that freak. There's just one left, Batman. Stop playing around and finish him. We got plenty more. Glad you're putting up a fight.
With the Arkham Knight's men taken care of, I can use their uplink terminal to lower the bridges.
Isn't that Barbara's job?
I mean, if you look at it, there's been some really good actors that have played the Joker. My favorite's probably still being Jack Nicholson from '89. Mark Hamill, again, people are just going to compare whoever's cast next to Heath Ledger. Maybe deservedly so, but I don't need any more. I don't need another Joker right now. I think they actually had someone. It was pretty good for that one sequence. Like, I bought their chemistry, I bought that these two have history and all that. I think it should have stayed in the film, maybe rework it a little bit, because remember of the sequence in Used to Arkham Asylum, ask a fellow crazy person about the serial killer that's leaving messages around Gotham. Part of me thinks that it takes away from Batman between him and the Joker, if you have to have him in there. Because you know it's freaking Hollywood, they're going to throw him in there. Because Batman and Joker sells. As much as it would annoy the crap out of me. To me, it's like the freaking Death Star in Disney Wars. It keeps showing up over and over again. Hey, you remember that big round thing that you've seen 2 times already? We're gonna make another one with the same weakness as the first 2. Just as stupid as that. It's like, it's been done already. Just stop, move on. He's got a crap ton of enemies. Introduce the League of Assassins with an actual Lazarus Pit this time would be great. Have Ra's al Ghul last for more than one film. That would be awesome. Because they had Ra's al Ghul in Begins and then he friggin' died. You know, Ra's al Ghul is notorious for returning over and over again. And next time I see Talia on screen, hopefully they don't kill her off too. Because that was another waste of her character. No, not everyone's going to agree on that. Oh, we need the Joker. Like, no, you don't. It'd be nice to see some other lesser-known characters or some characters that also deserve spotlight besides the Joker. Just not saying don't ever put him in there. Just saying that for at least another film, or at least keep him in the background and build up to it maybe, but I don't want to see him as the central villain. That's another problem with the Arkham games. He's always in the freaking center of everything. Asylum, okay, I can get Asylum. City, okay. Still tons of other villains in Asylum and City. But even in Arkham Knight, even after Joker's gone, he returns in Batman's head or something. And then there's this whole Joker subplot that completely takes over the rest of the game. Scarecrow. Yeah, Scarecrow. Get those Scarecrow into this too. That would be kind of cool. I would like to see another version of Scarecrow. Maybe something more comic accurate. Something close to the animated series version, maybe. That'd be kind of cool, I think. And I would say Bane, but we just have Bane. I don't need to see Bane again. For a while, anyway. Again, he can do the mob, it's more street level stuff.
Oh, right. In all the excitement, I almost forgot. You don't really believe old Jimbo's gonna forgive you if you save her. He holds a grudge, Bats. I should know.
Alfred, I've re-enabled the bridge controls.
Marvelous. I'm rebooting the network now.
Forget Scarecrow. It's time to face your one true nemesis, Batman.
Oh dear. Is that who I think it is?
Enigma. Contact me when you're ready with the bridge.
Riddle me this. Why would a Batman visit an abandoned orphanage?
Eddie, sweetie, you confused me with Robin. The big guy and I aren't all that close.
Oh, I know. It's because of what will happen to his feline friend if he doesn't get here in time. Shocked, Dark Knight? Stunned? You didn't expect this, did you? That is because you are no match for me, Edward Nygma, the Riddler, and your intellectual superior. Did you think I would just forget our last meeting, Dark Knight? You humiliated me. I know you will not beat me this time. It is utterly impossible. You cannot do it. I have won already. I will mock your attempts to solve my conundrum. I will stand triumphant over your bloody corpse. And as the dim light fades for good in your tiny dullard's mind, your final thought will be how I have bested you. Come to the orphanage, detective, or she dies.
All right, riddle me this, fellas. What do you call the guy?
So yeah, Batman Part 2, it definitely has me intrigued. A little shocked that they're pushing it over to 2025. It's almost like they want some of their new films and projects to start that year, like the year that all this officially launches. It's apparently Superman, whatever it's called. Young ass, inexperienced Superman again. Is also launched in 2025, so I'm like, okay. The Batman, down for that. Lanterns, down for that. Superman, inexperienced Superman again. Don't care. So, see what happens.